Imagine walking down a bustling New York street when suddenly everything goes eerily quiet. It was the 23rd of May, about 3 in the afternoon. A typical day in the city that never sleeps, the heart of it all. Times Square, a place where the hustle of humanity and the clamor of civilization collide in a symphony of sounds. But on this particular day, an anomaly occurred. An unexplained event that left the city known for its unending noise in a chilling, unexpected silence. The street musicians' tunes abruptly halted, the honking taxis stilled, even the ceaseless chatter of the crowd ceased as if muted by an unseen hand. The city's heartbeat had inexplicably stopped. The silence was so sudden, so absolute, it was as if the air itself held its breath, waiting for something to shatter the stillness. People froze in their tracks, their faces a canvas of confusion and growing fear. Eyes darted around, searching for an explanation in the faces of others, only to find mirrored bewilderment. It was as though they had stepped into an alternate reality, a New York devoid of its defining clamor. Pedestrians, vendors, tourists alike, all shared in this uncanny experience. You could see it in their widened eyes, feel it in the tension that gripped the air. An unsettling sense of dread spread among them, a collective unease that rooted them to the spot. The city, usually so full of life, was gripped by an eerie hush that seemed to whisper of the unknown. Conversations were abandoned mid-sentence, transactions left incomplete, as everyone stood suspended in this strange moment. The silence stretched, each second ticking by with unbearable heaviness. The city, so often a cacophony of sound, was held captive by an unexplainable quiet. A silence that was not only heard but also felt, sending chills down the spines of those who experienced it. It was a moment that would forever be etched in the memory of those who were there. A chilling reminder of the day when New York fell inexplicably silent. With the city still reeling from the inexplicable event, the hunt for answers began. The streets of New York, usually buzzing with life and light, were now enveloped in an eerie silence. The city's finest, both uniformed and unassuming, were called upon to delve into the heart of the mystery. This was a puzzle that needed solving, a riddle that demanded an answer. The local authorities, initially skeptical, found themselves drawn into a world they were ill-prepared to navigate. The evidence, or rather the lack of it, was as baffling as the event itself. The usual suspects, like CCTV footage, eyewitness accounts, even forensic evidence, all seemed to vanish into thin air. Parallel to the official investigation, a team of paranormal investigators also joined the search. Armed with their unconventional tools and unorthodox methods, they hoped to shed some light on the darkness that had descended on the city. Their findings, however, only added to the growing sense of dread: unseen forces, spectral apparitions, and disturbances in the electromagnetic field. They recorded it all, but what did it mean? Was it evidence of the paranormal or mere figments of overactive imaginations? The city held its breath, waiting for answers that seemed as elusive as the shadows at midnight. Yet, despite their best efforts, the investigators were left with more questions than answers. As days turned into weeks, a chilling hypothesis began to take shape. The unexplained event was no longer a mere incident, but a haunting enigma that twisted the minds of New York's most daring. As the city that never sleeps found itself lost in the web of the unknown, an eerie suggestion started to circulate. Could this event be of paranormal origin? This idea was not born out of thin air. It was founded on whispers of the past, tales of ghostly apparitions and chilling encounters that have haunted the city's folklore for generations. These tales, once dismissed as mere urban legends, were now being scrutinized with a renewed sense of curiosity and fear. Among the rubble of the unexplained, experts and enthusiasts alike began to propose theories. Some suggested the presence of poltergeists, mischievous spirits known for causing physical disturbances. Others pointed to the possibility of a residual haunting, where past traumas imprint themselves into the fabric of reality, replaying like a broken record. Anecdotes of strange occurrences reported in the same area in the past added fuel to this spectral fire. There were accounts of chilling drafts and sudden drops in temperature, of inexplicable shadows dancing in the corner of one's eye, of the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Each tale was a piece of the puzzle, a breadcrumb leading down a dark path toward the paranormal. Yet the most disturbing theory was that of a malevolent entity, a spirit not just replaying the past, but actively seeking to harm the living. The very thought sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest among us. It was a theory that lingered in the shadows, too terrifying to be fully embraced, yet too compelling to be completely dismissed. Could this have been the work of otherworldly entities? As the city grappled with fear and uncertainty, the question hung in the air like a specter, unseen, unheard, yet deeply felt. The city was left to ponder. The city was left to wonder if the veil between our world and the next was indeed thinner than we thought. The city was divided, skeptics on one side, believers on the other. It was a tale of two cities within a city, a stark divide drawn by the shadowy hand of the inexplicable. The paranormal hypothesis, once whispered in hushed tones, was now the talk of the town, the buzz in every borough. On one side, the skeptics, those who stood firmly on the ground of logic and reason. They dismissed the idea as nothing more than collective hysteria, an urban legend spun out of control. For them, the world was a place of cause and effect, of science and facts. They argued that the unexplained event was just another mystery waiting to be unraveled by the cold, hard light of empirical evidence. They scoffed at the believers, those who dared to tread where science feared to step. Yet these believers were not simply gullible or vulnerable, as skeptics like to portray them. They were the ones who felt the chill down their spine, the ones who saw the shadows move when no one was there. They were the ones who heard the whispers in the silence of the night. These believers, captivated by fear and fascination, found in the paranormal hypothesis a framework, a narrative that made sense of the uncanny experiences they had lived through. They argued that not everything could be explained away by science, that there were phenomena that transcended the limits of human understanding. In the heart of the city, the debate raged on, the echo of arguments and counter-arguments reverberating through its concrete canyons. The skeptics with their unwavering faith in reason against the believers, with their open minds to the possibilities beyond the known. And so, in the face of the unexplained, the city stood divided, cloaked in an unsettling uncertainty. A city suspended between the rational and the mystical, between the seen and the unseen, between the skeptics and the believers. Months have passed since the event, yet the mystery remains unsolved. Despite the tireless efforts of investigators, the enigma surrounding the paranormal activity in New York remains as impenetrable as a foggy night in the city that never sleeps. The cold, hard facts are as elusive as shadows on a moonless night, leaving us with more questions than answers. The event, a chilling manifestation of the unknown, has left an indelible mark on the city. Its impact is as palpable as the biting winter wind weaving its icy tendrils through the concrete labyrinth of New York. The city, once a bustling metropolis, now finds itself in the grip of an unseen terror, its heartbeat echoing with a disquieting rhythm. The inhabitants of New York, once impervious to the city's nocturnal whispers, now find themselves listening a little closer, their eyes darting to the corners of dimly lit rooms. Their skepticism has been replaced with a creeping sense of unease. The once familiar cityscape now holds an element of the uncanny, casting long, uncertain shadows where there were none before. The city's finest minds have been drawn into the enigma, their curiosity piqued by the unexplained. Scientists, paranormal investigators, even the occasional skeptic, each bringing their unique perspectives to the table in an attempt to unravel the mystery. Their efforts, however, have been met with the stubborn silence of the unknown, refusing to yield its secrets. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the city remains vigilant. The police force, bolstered by a cadre of dedicated investigators, continues to scour the city for clues. Paranormal researchers and psychics, once relegated to the fringes, now find themselves at the heart of the investigation, their insights proving invaluable in the face of the inexplicable. The city, in its resilience, refuses to be cowed by the unknown. Yet as we delve deeper into the mystery, we find ourselves staring into an abyss of uncertainty. Each new clue, each whispered account, only serves to deepen the enigma, drawing us further into its shadowy depths. The mystery, it seems, is content to linger, a cold specter in the heart of the city. The eerie silence may have lifted, but its echo still lingers in the heart of New York, a chilling reminder of the unexplained. As we continue our journey into the unknown, we carry with us a sense of foreboding, a reminder of the unresolved mystery that haunts the city's streets. We may not have the answers now, but one thing is certain: the city will not rest until the truth is laid bare.